Hey guys! So today is the PlayStation 3's turn once again, and now with the most unknown JRPGs for it ever made. So today we're gonna take a look at those 10 games that are really unknown. Some of them you might know them, some of them you might not, as usual. And just a warning, we're gonna be seeing a lot of Nipponichi software games. We'll get to find out later on in the video. So let's check it out! Number 10, Trinity Universe. The game that opens our top is none other than Nipponichi Software's yet another attempt for a decent crossover. What surprises me though is that it wasn't just developed by them, but also by Idea Factory and Ghost Corporation. Those are two big names in the JRPG world. The game has characters from the Atelier and this Gaia series. Cool! And do you know how many of them are in this game? 3 from this Gaia and 2 from Atelier Viorate. Yeah! Oh, you don't know Atelier Viorate? Well, me neither, because it never came out of Japan! At least one of the characters from that game is Pamela Ivis, whom we all know from many other Atelier games. In any case, the point of this game is to get yourself able to play with Flown, Edna and the Prini, famous characters from this Gaia. As you can see, it's a turn-based RPG with some little uniqueness to its battle system, but nothing that can truly stand out. There's 2 routes to choose from, one in which you play as a guide with the characters from this Gaia, and another one with a girl with the characters from Atelier Viorate. You know, it wouldn't be so unknown had it included more characters from more famous franchises, maybe from Idea Factory as well. But anyways, is it good? Well, it is. But just don't expect too much from it. Number 9, Tears to Tiara 2. To some gamers, nothing is more stressful than having to read tons of dialogue before even actually playing a game. Examples like Metal Gear Solid or Xenosaga are perfect to compare this game to. Tears to Tiara 2 is a very peculiar strategy RPG since it involves really long scenes, especially at the beginning, where it can be hours before you can actually even reach the tutorial. Well, I like that. I don't know about you though. So I think this RPG is a true hidden gem, since its battle system is excellent, similar to Fire Emblem and Final Fantasy Tactics. See that cow over there? You can swap party members at any time with it and recover some health. You can also grind for skill points at any time to increase your power. That and some other several aspects of the gameplay, including the long scenes and all, in my opinion, make this game quite a bountiful experience. Also, there's an interesting story behind it, which I covered in my PS3 Hidden Gems video, explaining the reasons why maybe this game is very unknown. So I invite you to check it out. And yeah, the cow rules. Number 8, The Guided Fate Paradox. It's gotta be one of the weirdest games that I played in my life. It's a roguelike action RPG with some heavy strategy elements, a quirky yet interesting story, and a battle system that's a little awkward, but I think once you get the gist of it, it becomes pretty easy to understand. However, overall, the dungeon crawling elements the game has make it somewhat self-explanatory. Now, I said weirdest at the beginning for a very good reason. Not only does it have quite a strange battle system, but also a story that's just so random and cheesy at the same time. You're a high school student, yeah, classic, with the worst luck ever. One day though, you meet this girl and, well, to skip the details, you get the option to become God. Not a god, no, God himself. He has 7 lowly angels to his side, and his job is to grant the wishes of people who pray to him. Seriously? Have you ever played a game like this? Yeah, weird game. Probably unknown because of that. The Awakened Fate Ultimatum. Yeah, so it's got a sequel. It takes place several years after The Guided Fate. Again, it's a dungeon crawler with roguelike elements. But now you have 2 sexy female protagonists, the angel and the devil, and you must now respond to them since you died in the human world and are now becoming a god, because they both saved you. This leads the gameplay to tons of player choices that will either support the light or dark side. Customization is involved in both Fate games since it heavily influences the battle system, giving it its own originality, but like I said before, not exactly unique. One thing I didn't mention about the previous game is that it's too short. However, Ultimatum is even shorter. I don't think you'll be playing this game for more than 30 hours, including side quests and all. Ironically, sometimes it plays like a visual novel, so some scenes can be quite long. I think the topics, the god complex in both, might be the reasons why very poor marketing was done outside Japan. So, do I recommend this game? I do, but be aware that even though it's good, the characters and everything else are very easy to forget. Number 6. Time and Eternity. Now this is a game that you probably will never be able to forget. No, it's not because of the tempting obscure animation while you run around with your cute character. No, it's because this game's fucking awful! Seriously, this has gotta be one of the worst JRPGs I've ever played in my life. Just looking at your character running around can cause you headaches. The story, well, it's extremely stupid. Not girly, no, some girly stories are quite decent. But this takes the whole cake of idiocy to a whole new level. You're this dude who was going to marry Toki, the main character with a blondie alter ego, only God fucking knows why, and then he dies trying to protect her, and now he's stuck inside this little dragon. I know, that was a shitty explanation, but it is well deserving of a shitty game. The battle system lacks depth and it attempts to be original, failing miserably. The animation when she shoots gives me a headache. I have never played a game before that gave me 2 consecutive headaches within 2 days just by looking at it. You know, I could go on with my rant, but this will be unnecessarily long. I'm just here to tell you one thing. The game's very unknown, probably because it sucks. Now let's go to Wizardry Labyrinth of Lost Souls. Wizardry is a series that was created in the USA, but was later abandoned and revived in Japan, mainly through spin-offs. This game was developed by Acquire, the same company that made the Tenchu series, Akiba Strip, and the upcoming Octopath Traveler with Square Enix. It's a dungeon crawling in first person that might be hard for beginners in this subgenre and unforgiving to those alienated from it, but I believe it's a hidden gem mainly for 2 reasons. One, the art. It is simply beautiful. I love the designs and the backgrounds. I just wish it wasn't that sexualized. The second reason is because the gameplay itself, which is one of those quest-driven games, it's actually very friendly. That word often comes into collision with the word hard, but trust me, you will find yourself playing this game despite its flaws, not for hours, but every now and then, just for the simple customization of your characters. It's a digital-only game, and that's maybe the reason why it's very unknown. Next is Trinity. I already covered this game in my Hidden Gems video for the PS3, so once again let me inform you with nothing but praise. While I am aware of the criticism this game has, mainly towards the story and the repetitiveness of the gameplay, since it's also slightly quest-driven, I think the graphics, music and the battle system are reason enough to fully enjoy it. As you can see, it's an action RPG, one of those very similar to Dynasty Warriors, since sometimes you take on hordes of enemies. But the gist here is that you play as 3 main characters, switching between them at any time, each with their own abilities that you will need to pass through certain areas or to defeat some types of enemies. Playing as either of them is as satisfactory as the other. There are a lot of games out there, like the Tales of series for example, in which you only feel comfortable playing as 1 or 2 characters, right? Well, in Trinity, it's great to play as the 3 of them. This game might be unknown, I think, only because of the lack of appeal and marketing, probably also due to the strange name, but if you happen to see it physically or digitally, don't think it twice. Get it. It's a great game. Number 3. Last Rebellion. Let's go back to Nipponichi Software once more. Another exclusive for the PS3, something that I haven't been mentioning in this video since most games are PS3 exclusives. But anyways, this is what many will consider Nipponichi Software's big Hall of Fame. Or shame, because this turn-based RPG with pretty lame graphics as you can see was panned by critics. The director of Nice even apologized for having localized this game to America. It's just one of those mediocre, bad quality games that even RP gamers don't like to play. It has absolutely nothing outstanding, with the word boring written all over it. But you know what? I don't think this game was that bad. I thought the battle system, in which you have to target the enemy's body parts to tactically win the battles, was pretty cool. You also have only two characters, the main protagonists, whom you can switch during the game and the battles. The story, however, I admit, is extremely generic, but that doesn't mean it's terrible. I do not recommend this game, sadly, because it's just so mediocre, but I kind of enjoyed it, so maybe if the price is really cheap, give this game a chance. Legacista. We're not done with this, I'm sorry. I think games like Fairy Fencer, Mugen Souls or The Witch and the Hundred Knight, also by Nice, could have made it on this list as well, but according to my research, most games on this list are more unknown. It just so happens to be a coincidence that most of them are from Nipponichi Software. So what's going on with Nice and the PS3? Why are most of the games they publish so unknown or underrated in this part of the world? It wasn't like this with the PS2 titles. What of games like Atelier or Disgaea? Was it perhaps since they began in the PS2 they are widely known and popular? Well, I've lost track here, big time. I haven't told you about Legacista, a digital-only game. Another roguelike dungeon crawler that's, well, in my opinion, nothing special. You can go into dungeons with 3 characters and switch between them at any time. You've got job classes, sprite-style characters, cliched story, and all that jazz that's been used a million times. In Legacista, this was done as uninspiring as possible. Not a bad game, but not something I would recommend. Number 1. Battle Princess of Arcadias. Odin Sphere clone, however, also published by Nice, is one that I will gladly recommend. It might have been a hidden gem had I actually played it before making this video, but well, part 2 will come eventually and you'll probably see this fun action RPG on the list. This is another digital-only game. Now, I said Odin Sphere clone because, well, just look at it. It's as if Vanillaware attempted to create another game with similar gameplay mechanics, but abandoned it halfway through and somebody else finished it for them. That's probably not the case, but I'm glad it happened nonetheless. However, the story's silliness and very generic plot and strange additions to its beat-em-up battle system are what make this game something entirely different from Vanillaware's library. You can swap characters at any time, so you can exploit everyone's skills. Combat is so satisfactory with very good mapping and controls. But there are 2 other types of combat, Skirmish and Siege. Skirmish is the one actually taking place in the background, in case you were wondering what the hell, and Siege is the one with all those soldiers and your characters against huge bosses. I could explain, but I will need an entire video for it. Overall, it's an excellent game that you will play for its addicting gameplay. Okay guys, that's it. As you saw, the PS3 has so many great JRPGs. A lot of people think that it doesn't have really that many, but as you saw, as you've been watching in this video, and if you probably watched my Hidden Gems video for this console too, you will probably notice that the PS3, it does have a lot of good JRPGs, and there's coming up in about a couple of weeks or months maybe, the Hidden Gems Part 2 for this console too. So don't miss it out, stay put for that, and let's just keep waiting, you know, because the PS3, like I said, has a lot of good JRPGs. It has a good library, good material, whether it's physically or digitally. But the point is that it's also a console, just like the PS2 or the PS1, that has so many great JRPGs. As usual, I want to thank you for watching this video and supporting my channel. If you want to keep supporting me, and it will help me a lot if you could become my patron, I will leave the link in the description below. By becoming my patron, you will have access to some videos exclusively for Patreon that I will be making. And guess what? You will have also access to some of my books for absolutely free. That's right. So if you want to support this channel so I can continue making these kinds of videos, and also more importantly, if you want me to make videos with more quality, with bigger quality, that'll be helping me a lot. Even if it's just $1 or $2, it doesn't matter. With that, you will be helping me and supporting this channel quite a lot. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends. See you next time.